Students, today I will start the second chapter of class 8, that is microorganisms, friends and foe. So this is the second chapter of class 8. So let's start. First of all, the introduction of this chapter. In this chapter, we will read about the microorganism. So the microorganism or microbes are so small in size that they can't be seen with the unaided eye. Some of these, such as the fungus that grow on bread, can be seen with a magnifying glass. Other can't be seen without the help of microscope. That is why these are called microorganisms or microbes. Microorganisms are classified into four major groups. These groups are bacteria, fungi, protozoa and some algae. So it is clear here that the microorganisms are so small in size, that's why we are unable to see them with our unaided or naked eye. So this is called microorganism. And these are divided into four groups, that is bacteria, fungi, protozoans and some algae. So this is the introduction of this chapter, microorganism, friend and foe. First of all, one activity is here. In this activity, collect some moist soil from the field in a beaker and add water to it. After soil particles have settled, observe a drop of water from the beaker under a microscope. What do you see? You have to take some moist soil from the field and you have to fill it in a beaker and add water to it. After soil particles have settled, take a drop of water from beaker and observe under microscope. What do you see? In second activity, take a few water from pond. You have to take pond water, spread on a glass slide. This is your glass slide, this types. You have to spread it into the glass slide and observe through a microscope. Do you find a tiny organism moving around? Observation. Those small things you observe through the microscope are called microorganisms. Some of the pictorial examples are given in the next section. I will tell you. Okay. These are types of bacteria. Here you can see that these bacteria are spiral in shape. So it is called spiral bacteria. And you can see in this diagram, this is rod shaped bacteria. So the spiral shaped and rod shaped bacteria you can see here. These are the types of bacteria. These are the types of algae. This algae is Chlamydomonas and this one is Spirogyra. This is a type of algae. We divided the microorganism in four groups. So this one is your bacteria and this one is your algae. This is your protozoans. In this, the example of amoeba you can see here, and this is paramecium. This is the structure of paramecium. And in last, this is the fungus or fungi, bread mold, which are present on your bread. This is the penicillium and this one is aspergillus. This is the example of the fungi. And in last, these are the types of viruses. This is bacteriophage virus. This one is bacteriophage virus. This is present in Ganga river. That's why the water is not spoiled, Ganga. Okay, because it kills the germs, it kills the bacteria which are present inside the water of Ganga. And this name is start with the bacteriophage, but it is a type of virus. Next, where do microorganisms live? Microorganism may be single celled, like bacteria. Bacteria is single celled. Some algae and protozoans are multicellular. This may be single celled or multicellular. Single cell example, bacteria, some algae and protozoans. Multicellular such as algae and fungi. They are multicellular, means they are made up of more than one cell, and single cell means they are unicellular. So they can survive under all types of environment, ranging from ice cold climate to hot spring and desert marshlands. They can survive every climates. They are also found inside the bodies of animals, including humans. Some microorganisms grow on other organisms while others exist freely. So they are the parasitic in nature. Microorganisms like amoeba can live alone. Amoeba is a microorganism which comes under the category of protozoans. So it can live alone, while fungi and bacteria may live in colonies. They live in colonies like bacteria and fungi. So they are the cosmopolitan. In one word we can say cosmopolitan, means they are found everywhere on the earth. Next, friendly microorganism means they are beneficial to us, not harmful to us. That's why they are called friendly microorganism. Okay, so friendly microorganism are various microorganisms are used for various purposes. They are used in the preparation of curd, bread and cake. They are also used in cleaning up of the environment as scavengers. For example, the organic waste like vegetable peels, remains of animals, feces, etc. are broken down into harmless and usable substances by bacteria. Recall that bacteria are also in the preparation of medicines, in antibiotics. In agriculture, they are used to increase soil fertility by nitrogen fixation. By fixing the nitrogen, they use the soil fertility, use in increasing the soil fertility. In medicine, like antibiotic, some bacteria are used for cleaning the environment and for making curd, bread, cake, etc. So they are the friendly microorganism. In making curd contains several microorganisms. Of these, the bacterium Lactobacillus. Lactobacillus is a type of bacteria which promotes the formation of curd, and it multiplies in milk and converts into curd. When milk is converted into curd, it is because of the presence of Lactobacillus lacti, which is a type of bacteria. Bacteria are also involved in the making cheese, pickles and many other food items. An important ingredient of rava means suji, idlis and bhaturas is curd. So here it is clear that how curd how curd prepared from milk with the help of bacteria, that is Lactobacillus lacti. Making of bread, yeast yeast play an important role in making of bread because it reproduces rapidly and produces carbon dioxide during respiration because it comes under the category of anaerobic organism because there is no need to the oxygen for the respiration. That's why they produces carbon dioxide, and due to the presence of carbon dioxide, bubbles of the gas fill in the dough and increases the volume. This is the basis of the use of yeast in the baking industry for making breads, pastries and cakes. So yeast help in the making of bread. Activity 3. Maida with yeast powder. Raised maida, you can see this is the powder, this is the raised maida because the presence of carbon dioxide which are produced by the yeast. So take 1.5 flour, atta or maida, add some sugar and mix with warm water. After that, add a small amount of yeast powder and knead to make a soft dough. What do you observe after 2 hours? Did you find the dough rising? Yes or no? Yes, you can do the activity and then find out what is happening here. Observation. Yeast reproduces rapidly and produces carbon dioxide during respiration. Bubbles of the gas fill the dough and increases its volume. This is the basis of the use of yeast in the baking industry for making bread, pastries and cakes. So it is the same answer. How can activity 3 results? You can see here. Commercial use of microorganism. Commercial use of microorganism. Microorganisms are used in the large scale production of alcohol, wine and acetic acid, that is vinegar. Yeast is used for commercial production of alcohol and wine. For these purposes, yeast is grown in natural sugar present in the grains like barley, wheat, rice, crushed fruit juices, etc. So this is the definition of fermentation. You can see here the process of conversion of sugar into alcohol. Process of conversion of sugar into alcohol is known as fermentation. So commercial use of microorganism, you can see here in alcohol, for making alcohol, for preparing alcohol, wine, acetic acid, that is vinegar. Activity 4. Take a 500 ml beaker filled up 3/4 with water. Dissolve 2 to 3 teaspoons of sugar in it. Add half a spoon of yeast powder to the sugar solution. Keep it covered in a warm place for 4 to 5 hours. Now smell the solution. Could you get a smell? Yes, you get a smell. So perform the activity at your home. Observation. In observation you can see this is the smell of alcohol, as sugar has been converted into alcohol by yeast. This process of conversion of sugar into alcohol is known as fermentation. So it is because of the fermentation the smell has changed. Medicinal use of microorganism. What are the medicinal use of microorganism? So first of all, in antibiotic, tablets, capsules, injections such as penicillin, the source of these medicine is microorganism. So antibiotics, capsule and injections like penicillins are prepared through the microorganism. So it is very important. These medicines kill or stop the growth of disease causing microorganism. So this is the definition of antibiotics. Means that the medicine which stop or kill the growth of microorganism is called antibiotics. Such medicines are called antibiotics. These days, a number of antibiotics are being produced from the bacteria and fungi like streptomycin, tetracycline, erythromycin. These are the example of antibiotics, and some of the commonly known antibiotics such which are made from the fungi and bacteria. So this is the medicinal use of microorganisms. We are preparing different types of capsule, tablets, injections from the microorganism. The antibiotics are manufactured by growing specific microorganism and are used to cure a variety of diseases. So it can be cultured. Antibiotics are even mixed with the feed of livestock and poultry to check microbial infection in animal. They are also used to control many plant diseases. So it is very important for us, for plant also. Okay, this is the Alexander Fleming. Alexander Fleming was working on a culture of disease causing bacteria. Suddenly he found the spores of a little green mold in one of his culture plates. He prepared a culture plates, and in this culture plate the microorganism growth occur, and they provided the additional nutrient to the cultured bacteria or cultured microorganism. So he observed that the presence of mold prevented the growth of bacteria. In fact, he also killed many of these bacteria. From this, the mold penicillin was prepared. So Alexander Fleming is a scientist who discovered the penicillin. Okay. Edward Jenner, he invented smallpox vaccine. Edward Jenner discovered the vaccine for smallpox in 1798. The most important thing, why are children and infants given vaccination? So when a disease carrying microbes enters our body, the body produces antibodies to fight the invaders. Whenever any microbes enters in our body cell produces antibodies against the antigens. Antigens are the substances which are coming out from the outside into our body, and our body start to making antibodies in respect to the antigens. So the body also remembers how to fight the microbes if it enters again. So if dead or weakened microbes are introduced in healthy body, the body fights and kills them by producing suitable antibodies. The antibodies remains in the body and we are protected from the disease causing microbes. This is how a vaccine works. Several diseases including cholera, tuberculosis, smallpox and hepatitis can be prevented by vaccination. आप सभी को पता है कि वैक्सीन बाहर से बॉडी में दी जाती हैं, और जैसे ही कोई भी बाहरी एंटीजन या बाहरी कोई सब्सटेंस हमारी बॉडी पे अटैक करता है, हमारी बॉडी सेल्फ उसके अगेंस्ट क्या बनाने लगती है, एंटीबॉडीज़ बनाने लगती है. जब भी हमारी बॉडी में वैक्सीन क्यों दी जाती है कि जब हमारे बॉडी में कोई वीकेंड कोई एंटीबॉडीज़ हमारे बॉडी में वीकेंड कोई एंटीजन्स हमारे बॉडी में एंटर किया कराया जाता है थ्रू इंजेक्शन या थ्रू ड्रॉप्स. तो वो जब भी कोई उस तरह का स्पेसिफिक और माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म हमारे बॉडी में आता है, तो हमारी बॉडी उसके पहले से ही हमारी बॉडी एंटीबॉडीज़ बना चुकी होती हैं और हमें उस स्पेसिफिक माइक्रोब से लड़ने के लिए हमारी बॉडी हमें कैपेसिटी देती है, कैपेबल होती है, इसलिए हम वीक या बीमार नहीं पड़ते हैं. ठीक है. तो अभी जैसे कि कोरोना चल रहा है, तो कोरोना में जो हमको वैक्सीन दी जा रही है वो इसलिए दी जा रही है कि कोरोना का जब भी वायरस हमारे बॉडी में अटैक करे तो उसके अगेंस्ट में हमारी बॉडी पहले से ही एंटीबॉडीज़ बना चुकी रहे, और जब भी वो बॉडी आए तो हमारी बॉडी उसे आइडेंटिफाई कर ले और उससे लड़ने के लिए हमारी बॉडी अपने अंदर कैपेबिलिटी बना के रखे और हमें प्रोटेक्ट कर सके. सो the vaccine are given to the children. That's why. In your childhood, you must have been given injection to protect yourself against several diseases. Can you prepare a list of these diseases? You may take help from your parents. It is essential to protect all children against these diseases. Necessary vaccines are available in the nearby hospitals. You might have seen the advertisement on TV and newspaper regarding protection of children against polio under पल्स पोलियो प्रोग्राम आपने देखा होगा। और आप अपने पेरेंट्स से पूछें कि आपको कौन कौन सी वैक्सीन बचपन में दी गई थी, और वही वैक्सीन आपको आज तक प्रोटेक्ट कर रही है। Why are children and infants given vaccination? Polio drops given to children are actually a vaccine. A worldwide campaign against smallpox has finally led to the eradication from most part of the world. These days, vaccines are made on a large scale from microorganisms to protect humans and other animals from several diseases.